Welcome to the Path of Safety, a guided assessment of the onboard acetylene-oxygen gas distribution system. Over the next sections, we'll trace the gas from its storage cylinders to the workshop outlet, highlight critical inspection points and industry rules, and share practical steps that keep your crew and vessel safe through disciplined professional checks and documented maintenance. Safety is literally in your hands, and this slide reminds us why. The integrity of the system isn't just about ticking boxes, it's about protecting people and the vessel. As we walk through each compartment, think of every check as a deliberate act of care where clear signage, trained responses, and attention to detail prevent emergencies before they start. This diagram shows the path we'll follow. From the central cylinder storage at the source, along piping and regulators in the connection, to the engine room workshop outlet at the destination. We'll examine each critical point as an inspector would, looking for secure storage, proper fittings, and safe outlets, so the gas reaches the workplace without introducing risk. Securing the cylinder room is step one, and it starts with clear, mandatory signage and unobstructed access. A heat-resistant mitten and a dedicated spanner should be immediately available for emergency valve closing and hose disconnection. Conversely, cluttered rooms, missing signage, or absent safety gear create hazards and slow emergency response, so keep the space tidy, labeled, and ready. Cylinder integrity depends on correct connection and storage. Use holding clamps designed for safe head release, separate full and empty cylinders, and keep safety caps on when cylinders aren't in use. Never lash cylinders together as that hinders emergency removal, and always use the correct gaskets, aluminum for oxygen, nylon for acetylene, and never copper with acetylene under any circumstance. Certain practices are absolutely prohibited because they create ignition risks. No grease, oils, or coatings on fittings, as these can ignite in oxygen-rich environments. No Teflon tape or sealants, since the system is metal-to-metal sealed and tapes can shred and become fuel. And no unauthorized modifications like copper adapters or silver braze fittings that compromise safety. The unseen danger of adiabatic compression is simple but deadly. Opening an oxygen cylinder valve too quickly causes a pressure spike, which can heat and ignite contaminants or components. The rule is clear. Always open AC and OX valves very, very, very slowly, and after use, always release residual pressure from the system to avoid trapped energy that could start a fire. High-pressure hoses are a critical failure point and must be inspected for pristine condition, clear labeling, and visible manufacturing dates. Follow the 5-year rule. Replace hoses 5 years after their manufacturing date because sunlight and salty air accelerate degradation. A legible label showing manufacturing date, pressure test, maker, and ISO type is your proof of serviceability. Central regulators and flashback arresters are the heart of the system and must meet the relevant ISO standards. Regulators should be ISO 7291 compliant and have a secure relief outlet, while flashback arresters must meet ISO 51751 and be high capacity, non-resettable where required. Both components fall under the 5-year replacement rule based on their manufacturing date. At the engine room workshop outlet, the requirements are similar but tailored to use. Regulators should be ISO 7291 compliant and typically fitted with a single pressure gauge, and flashback arresters must be ISO 51751 compliant and resettable where specified. Inspect for correct models and expiry dates because using expired or wrong components defeats the system's safety design. Planning for piping excellence keeps the whole distribution system reliable. Low-pressure piping must be butt-welded, not threaded or flanged, and should pass through bulkheads via bushes rather than direct welds. Use non-conductive clamps and avoid negative loops in rigid piping. The images show correct and incorrect clamp and joint practices you should replicate or repair during dock work. A thorough logbook is the legacy of every inspection. Without records, inspections are stories untold. Your logbook proves professional diligence and ensures continuity of safety for everyone who follows. Keep a library with service manuals, DOM reading manuals, safety posters, and a maintenance and renewal log sheet so replacements and inspections are traceable and accountable. One critical detail often missed is using the manufacturing date, not the installation date. To calculate renewals, read the engraved manufacturing date on each component and calculate the next renewal as manufacturing date plus 5 years. Log both the manufacturing and next renewal dates clearly. Don't just note a replacement date or the work won't meet the requirement. The path of safety is paved with diligence. Every check, every log entry, every timely replacement is a conscious act of professionalism. By maintaining records, following the 5-year rules, and treating each component with respect, we keep workshops productive and safe rather than potential disaster zones. Own the path and make safety part of everyday practice.